to go along with some of the best coffee in RVA. 3 locations, one in Shockoe Bottom, one in the West End, and one in Lynchburg. Check them out too online at ironcladcoffee.com. Fitz the Bill is powered by Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company each and every morning.
Richmond, it's time to get your morning going. Spicy Mom.
We are going to wreak havoc.
Only thing I am thinking about is the game.
Holy catfish! Touchdown, Seahawks!
Rashid Shaheed. Richmond Sports Talk by Richmond sports fans. This is Fitz the Bill with Jack Fitzpatrick. All live from the capital of the Commonwealth, where sharp analysis, your cause, and Richmond always come first. If it's making headlines locally or nationally, we're breaking it down. Now, live from the capital of the Commonwealth, Fitz the Bill with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Good Wednesday morning, August 5th. Appreciate you clocking in, getting your day started with us right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond and Fitz the Bill. And it's everyone's favorite time of year because it is best shape of your life season. Everyone's reported to camp in the NFL. We're getting a ton of teams around the Commonwealth reporting to fall camp today. A bunch also already in camp. JMU started yesterday. Virginia Union started yesterday. UVA started last week. Virginia Tech starting today. ODU starting today. And this is the time when you get every single quote. This is the best shape of their life. They've never felt better. Chemistry, healthy, blah, 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 blah. And we are getting those storylines in a big way coming out of Washington Commanders training camp. Jaden Daniels, man, Alan, he's fully healthy. He's throwing the pill around exceptionally well. He's hitting every single receiver for 15 touchdowns each time he passes. He looks fantastic under play action. And I'm not trying to take away from any of the hope, any of the excitement, but I think it was Washington Commanders or one of the media outlets up there, they were talking with fans at training camp and they asked, what's your record expectation for this upcoming season? And I respect one of the fans who answered it very, very bluntly. He said, I just hope above 500. And I love that type of mindset.
I have no time for Eeyores, man. you remember Eeyore, the donkey from Winnie the Pooh?
Oh, I remember Eeyore.
Yeah, I have no time for Eeyore fans, man.
Hey,
this is the most optimistic time of your season.
Well, you can say that again. We're at 804 High School Football Media Day. Talked with 34. I don't know. I lost count after about 15. If I'm being really honest with you,
Talk to everyone.
Each coach and each team brought 2 to 3 players. So I did the math. We talked to over 100 players from teams around the 804, and then 34 coaches. I want to say it was a lot of people. But the common thread of it all is they have high expectations. There's optimism around the program. They want to win football games, which isn't breaking any news, but it's the similar thing, right? Where you have all the optimism at this point. But I respect a fan who can look a camera dead in the eye and go, I just want to be above 500, because everyone else is hyping up how dynamic Jaden Daniels looks, how this receiver room is looking actually really good, is in full swing. They still need a wide receiver too. We just forget about some of the negatives around this Commander squad the second they put on pads and they take the turf field up there in Ashburn.
Well, there's rumors swirling that Diggs may be in play for them, which geographically makes sense. He went to Maryland. He's got roots out there. And
fit-wise, it makes sense.
Like you pointed out, he's probably got some productive year left in him. But yeah, I don't understand. If you put a mic up to me, as a fan, I'm gonna be like, yo, Niners win the Super Bowl. Like, because what else am I supposed to say this time of year? Like,
you're not wrong, especially with Matt Eberflus as your assistant coach.
Yeah, if I'm already going in, I don't know. I just hope we win a game. I just hope we stay healthy. Like, spare me.
Spare me. I love it. But everything else coming out of Commanders camp is all positive, right? Jaden Daniels, he's fully healthy after having an injury-riddled 2025. David Blau, this has been the storyline all offseason, emphasizing more under center, play action, more designed runs to open things up. That apparently is going well. The receiver room, that's in full swing after losing Deebo Samuel, who went back to the San Francisco 49ers. Zach Ertz gone. Austin Eckler wasn't re-signed either. So Terry McLaurin and a bunch of question marks down the rest of that depth chart. But one guy seems to be coming into focus. It's Chigakonkwo, the free agent tight end that they signed to a pretty lucrative deal. It didn't seem like Chigakonkwo was going through a bidding war or anything like that. Maybe he was behind the scenes, but Washington ended up giving him a contract that's worth $9 million in average annual value, which makes him the 17th highest paid tight end. So that was a little shocking. I know 17th paid highest tight end. Whoa, that's actually not that crazy. It is when you look at his EPA over his career, where he ranks 46th out of 57 qualified tight ends in EPA per play. I know that's a nerd number. I get it. But it seemed to be a slight overpay at the time. But Chigakonkwo so far seems to be living up to that number, living up to the high expectations that have been set on him. Liam Griffin, he came on the Mid-Major Match Show yesterday, and he talked about how Chigakonkwo has been playing so far through training camp and how he's building some great chemistry with QB1.
We've seen a lot from him, and he has a good early connection with Jaden Daniels, which is something you want. Jaden has always really relied on his tight ends. Like, that connection with Zach Ertz was something that helped him acclimate to the NFL very quickly, and that Zach Ertz was where he was supposed to be, had very sure hands, and even if he wasn't the most dynamic creator. And Chig is doing that same thing, except he can be electric after the catch and can be a real difficulty to bring down for opposing defenses. So we have seen him align all over the field, in the backfield, at tight end, out wide a little bit. And he has made a lot of plays, very sure hands.
I mean, it seems to be, Liam, I think, is just one of multiple, Allen, that have been really high on Chigakonkwo and how he can potentially unlock this offense. And he said, sure hands. That's true. He's got a 0% drop rate across 4 seasons. He has an 89.33% catch rate on catchable passes. He's been a pretty solid tight end. And I emphasize solid because he came out with a bang in 2022, 2.14 yards per route run, which is an extremely, extremely efficient number. And then over the last 2 seasons, that's fallen nearly 1 whole yard to 1.22, plus his below average EPA. His production has declined a little bit over the last couple of seasons. So I think Washington really banking on the fact that he can get unlocked in this David Blau offense.
Yeah, I think Chig's kind of been a victim of people just not utilizing him or giving him the opportunity to really shine. He will be the featured guy for Washington this year at the tight end position, I'm sure. And with his build and athleticism, I'm sure they'll probably get creative with him as well. We'll probably see him lining up in spots that we haven't seen much production from the tight end position in those spots, like the slot and things like that. I know Zach Ertz was solid, but he had the Jason Witten thing going on when he was in Washington. 5-yard catch, 5-yard gain, right? Like Washington needs 5-yard catch, 10-yard gain, 5-yard catch, 15-yard gain, things like that. And it sounds like Chig is giving them flashes of that. And it's going to be one of those things where if he lives up to the hype or expectations of not the fan base, but the coaches, right? Like the investment that they put into him, giving him the contract that they gave him and everything, if he lives up to those expectations, he could be the gadget guy that I think takes this offense to another level, because again, we have questions about all the receivers outside of Terry. Yeah. And if you're looking at modern football, most mismatches come from athletic tight ends and guys out the backfield. There's been talks of Bill Krosky-Merritt showing flashes that he can catch out the backfield. I mean, scouting report said he could catch out the backfield, so I'm not sure why that's newsworthy. But if you utilize,
we would say it's newsworthy.
Yeah, if you utilize these guys appropriately, I think you will find that this offense has another level to it.
And you mentioned it, right? His 5.4 yards after catch per reception in his career, really solid yak ability. Yeah, he can make a 10-yard catch into a 15.4-yard catch on average, but like he will be so important. And you can tell how Washington values him, because if they don't go out and they don't sign a Stephon Diggs on the open market, if they don't trade / sign / whatever it is with Brandon Ayuk in that entire situation, but I think that ship has sailed.
They're done with him for sure.
I think he's still. I was going to make an Odyssey joke, but I would be able to. He's still
send him to the who was the Harpies or whatever that was singing. Like, can he jump off the ship?
Sirens.
Sirens. There you go. Can he jump off the ship?
Have you seen the Odyssey?
I've not seen it.
Do you have any interest?
I do. I like mythology and stuff like that. So I have interest. It's going to be one of those things I'm going to have to catch when we get a breather in between preseason games.
Yeah, I squeezed in all the movie watching.
Yeah, I waited for Spider-Man because of my son. I'm picking him up this weekend. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for him. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
It's deep. It's deep.
Yeah, so
it's aged with them as they've gone on. It was really good. I'm not a big superhero guy, but the one superhero I really like is Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's the most relatable. He really is.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. That was the premise behind it, not to get sidetracked, but that was the premise behind it.
Let me see if I can bring this back onto the rails. Chigakonkwo can be Spider-Man.
Yeah, he could be Spider-Man or he could be Venom. I'd rather him be Venom.
Look, and it'll tell you a lot about how the Commanders are viewing him, because if they go out and they sign a wide receiver too, maybe they think he won't have that big of a role. But if they don't go out and sign a wide receiver too, that tells you everything, where they think Chig can likely be that second receiving option from that tight end spot, lining him up in the slot, in the backfield, like Liam said, at the tight end position. And in today's day and age, with all of these heavy sets, the heavy personnel, and it forces the defense to bring on maybe an extra linebacker or maybe a safety that plays a little slower, Chigakonkwo can really maximize that mismatch. And I think that's really what Washington is going to try to do this offseason and going into the season.
Yeah, you want a guy that's too big for linebackers or too big for safeties and too fast for linebackers, which in today's game is going to be tough because we have so many hybrids, like a Cooper DeJean can handle that. But you would love to have Cooper DeJean have to, be on Chig or assigned to Chig more often than not, because then that'll free up an Antonio Williams or maybe even a Sinteri vertical. You can get a little bit more space if you can get some production out of Chig. And I'm not surprised to hear that he looks good when we're in this setup of practice, because athletic guys, you expect them to do athletic things in these kind of situations. But when we get to the joint practice, when we get to the scrimmages and the preseason games and things like that, you do want to make sure that you do see that production behind that athleticism.
And Chigakonkwo, if you go back and you do a Twitter search on him over the last, every season since he's joined the league in 22, right? Like if you go back and you just do a quick Twitter search for him, he's the training camp darling each and every offseason. So it's now, how do you take this hype and you put it towards a solid season? Because he's had okay years. I think with David Blau and what they're going to try to do, he can kind of take that next step in his career. And honestly, Washington kind of betting on it, at least at this point, because they've got Terry McLaurin, Treylon Burks. I guess the reports coming out of camp so far is that Jaden Daniels has been connecting with Terry and Treylon Burks on the deep shots. And then outside of that, you've got rookie Antonio Williams, Luke McCatt. Like, you just don't have a ton there. So they need Chig if they don't go out. And I know this is going to be hammered home each and every time we talk about it until they get a second wide receiver or a reliable wide receiver kind of shows themselves through it all. But they need a second pass catching option to step up. And Chig seems at this point right now on August 5th seems the most poised to do that.
Yeah. And, you said he was like a training camp darling. I mean, his athletic measurables just off the charts for a tight end per se, which I even laugh thinking that I look at a tight end that runs a 4.52 and I'm like, that's the fastest in 2022. And when you think about our new age tight ends, typically they are around the 4.4 area when we think of these athletic tight ends, but he moves well for 4.5 and 238. I might even say he probably should have been a linebacker in today's age. But I think, when we're talking about the Commanders this season, there's a whole lot of unknown in their playmakers outside of our usual suspects. And in order for them to have a successful season of any kind, anybody has to step up. That's not Terry and Jaden Daniels. We know Terry and Jaden. We know what they can do.
Terry and Jaden. Yeah, Jaden and Terry.
Yeah, we've seen what they can do. But we need to see more Bill. We need to see more Chig. And is Antonio Williams going to be a great acquisition for their rookie class? Is Luke McCaffrey finally going to step up and be a consistent performer? When he got the ball, Jaden's rookie season, he was. And then, last year it was just hit or miss with everybody. So I understand why people are hype about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're all going to still have the same questions until we see it on the field.
Yes, and they're going to be tested early. It's been talked about a ton, right? Like you got Philly to start, then you got Dallas. Dallas probably going to be one of the most explosive offenses again in the NFL with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and Dak Prescott, Javonte Williams in the backfield. Then you've got, oh, by the way, week 3, defending champions coming to your place in the Seattle Seahawks. Then you got the Colts. And through that first 4 weeks, that's just a really, really tough slate. 3 of those 4 games could easily be L's. And then depending on what version of the Colts you get, you just don't know. I mean, I know you love Indiana Jones, so maybe maybe the music can play.
Yeah,
there,
it depends.
but.
I'm gonna have that music blaring in London. But I think it's also something for the Commanders to consider. Get these tough games out. Get your tests out the way early. See what you have to work with.
Maybe
answer these. No, for real. If you answer these questions in the first 5 weeks, I'd rather lose 4 out of my first 5 than 4 of my last 5, if that makes sense. No. And they have a schedule set up to where they're going to have it tough in the beginning, and they can make some noise at the end.
Because you look at November 29th on real quick, post Thanksgiving. They've got the Cardinals, Titans, Falcons, Vikings, and then their other games are the Jags, Texans, and Cowboys. But like Cardinals should finish last in the NFC West. Titans should finish last in the AFC South. Falcons very well could finish last in the NFC South. Vikings very well could finish last in the NFC North. Like those are 4 winnable games. Now I'm high on the Vikings, so I think that'll actually be a test.
I'm high on the Vikings too, but
let's face the facts.
I would much rather play that than the first 4 or 5 games that you mentioned earlier, which feature pretty much all potential division winners, right? Yeah. So, and for the Commanders, those early division games, I think will be good for them too, because I do believe they have focused better when they play their division games. So there's not going to be any excuses when they play the Eagles and Cowboys. Yes. They're either going to win or they're going to lose. Nobody's going to be like, oh, he wasn't ready. You know, it's the first couple games of the season. No. Washington, since Jaden Daniels has arrived, has always taken these division games very, very serious and focused.
And they've won them when he's healthy.
Yeah, so it's good to see.
I am very excited to see, and I will say this is the hope, this is the hype I have. I'm so excited to see Jaden Daniels back being healthy, because when he was healthy that rookie season, that may have been one of the greatest, if not the greatest, rookie quarterback campaign we've ever seen. And look, there were a lot of question marks going into the 2024 season. Rookie quarterback, question marks across that entire team, both offensively and defensively. Feels very reminiscent of the 2026 offseason now, right? There's a lot of questions around Jaden, a lot of questions around the offense, around the defense. How do they come through in first-year coordinators on the offensive and defensive side? But I am fascinated to see how Jaden Daniels bounces back following a down 2025 that was injury riddled and just never really found his mojo. Yeah. Now can he find his mojo again?
And to be fair, I think if we set it up and we went through each team, we would have questions about everybody, even the Eagles. Yeah, we would have questions about everybody and everything.
Real quick, I'll do it for you right now. Cowboys defense, how are they going to play? Christian Parker just learned he was a Richmond alum. Christian Parker, how does he kind of influence that?
Pains me. I got to root for Christian.
I know, and he started his coaching career down at Virginia State.
Yeah, so, man. But awesome story.
Yeah, I hope he pulls out the cut now that he's a hometown guy.
And he's got my guy Caleb 4th downs.
Yeah, so but questions around the NFC East at least. Cowboys, their defense has been historically bad over the last couple of seasons. How do they improve that? Giants,
one big question mark. They're the Riddler, man.
Do they have a fire extinguisher because the entire dumpster is burning?
His neighbor's gonna play. Is Cam gonna be okay? Is Jackson Dart gonna stay concussion free?
I mean, Jackson Dart apparently already making Harbaugh mad yesterday.
Does anybody want to play in New York actually after that rah speech that Harbaugh gave?
Oh my goodness, where he almost forgot who he was coaching. God,
oh man, that was great.
So bad. And then you got the Eagles, and I know I'm an Eagles hater, so this might come across as being Eagles hate. But Jalen Hurts cannot throw over the middle of the field. And right now he's got 2 wide receivers that thrive over the middle of the field. Mekhi Lemon caught 75% of his passes in college between the numbers. Jalen Hurts threw between the numbers 10% of his passes last year. Dude hates throwing over the middle, How does he grow under Sean Mannion, a first-year OC who's my age?
Makai Lemon and Devontae Smith can get off if he gives them the ball.
Yes.
They're also great yak guys too, but they don't have their O-line coach anymore.
Yes, Stoutland left.
That's going to be a transition. A new offensive coordinator. That's going to be a transition. I think the only thing we really expect to hit the ground running for them is going to be the defense.
Yeah, and you just hope Jalen Carter doesn't spit again.
we can't really keep Jalen Carter under wraps at all, actually. But maybe they put a clause in there where he's got to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, maybe for every spit he gets docked $10 million.
I mean, are you going to take the money from him? Nope. Exactly. Where's Big Dom? You go get it.
I don't even think Big Dom would do it.
He probably doesn't want it.
Jalen Carter scares me. All right, let's get a break in. We'll talk a little NFL training camp. Got to turn our attention to the Commonwealth, the state schools. JMU, they reported a camp yesterday. Virginia Tech today, UVA last week. Oh, by the way, ODU reports today, Liberty today, Richmond reported on Friday, Union reported yesterday. So a ton of action coming down the pipe in the college sports scene. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Coming up next, right here on Fitz the Bill.
You're tuned into Fitz the Bill. Back in a moment.
Bradley here with Pro Weld Fabricators, the professional problem solvers. On a construction site, problems happen. Broken steel, custom brackets, last-minute fabrication. That's when you need to call the professional problem solvers. At Pro Weld Fabricators, we specialize in commercial welding, structural steel, and custom fabrication for contractors and building projects. When metal problems threaten to slow your project down, our experienced team delivers strong welds, fast solutions, and reliable results.
This is Brandon with Pro Weld Fabricators. Visit our website at pro-weldfabricators.com.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
This is advertising material. Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Schnarr trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 877-222-6666 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. alexwins.law.
This is advertising material. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Every case is different. Philip George is licensed attorney in Virginia, is responsible for legal work. Office located in Norfolk.
Tune in to the Henrico Huddle with Dennis Bickmeyer the last Wednesday of each month, afternoons on 106.1 ESPN or updates online at henricosea.com. 106.1 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. 106.1 ESPN traffic.
An accident has the right and center lanes blocked off heading north on 195 just before Laburnum Avenue, causing heavy traffic backing up from Broad Street. Just be aware of an accident on Powhai Parkway heading northbound near Midlothian Turnpike. And we're seeing some backup heading west on 64 between Mechanicsville Turnpike and 95.
Local voices, local takes. Richmond's only local morning sports talk show. Fitz the Bill. Back on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
DJ Khaled. Hey. Yeah. All I do is win, win, win. no matter what.
JMU UVA, this song applies to based off of last season. Unfortunately for Virginia Tech.
For everybody during this time of the year, this is the energy you should bring.
Hey, you're right. James Franklin told me they won the offseason.
Yeah, man.
Stamp it.
Yeah, like, what are we doing,
The
man?
Hokies have won the offseason.
Pessimistic fans crack me up, man. Like, this
Count
is
me
the
in.
time
I am
to
a
be
pessimistic
unrealistic.
fan.
This is the time to be unreal. We should all be Cowboy fans. That age-old joke. We should all think we're winning the Super Bowl. This is our year. This is literally the time where you can say that. And who can dispute it outside of if you're like a Browns fan or something like that? Then we can make fun of you. But
or Falcons.
There's like 15 contenders.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that. You're not wrong with that.
So,
Look, as a fan of a team in the Seattle Seahawks
that nobody thought would have won it last year.
And I didn't either.
The most improbable Super Bowl of all time, I believe, is what they said from a betting standpoint.
From a betting standpoint, the Patriots and Seahawks both being in the Super Bowl reps for their respective conferences. Yes, was, I think, the longest shot if you had placed a parlay on that. So you're not wrong.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I see what you're saying. But let's face the facts. Not everything can happen.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm a pessimistic fan. This is a good yin and yang because I'm a pretty pessimistic fan.
I'm a realist, but I'm not going to be realistic in August. Catch me in September.
I will be also, if you've proven to me that I can be optimistic about you, I'll be optimistic about, like, UVA, right? There are a lot of questions around UVA coming into this season. They lost a large chunk of that roster from last season. Chandler Morris is out the door, although, no, he's technically not. He's not eligible for this entire court case that's going on right now in Colorado that's given the class of 2022 essentially free pass to come in. But then also the NCAA is likely going to appeal it. So that's all stuck in limbo. But Chandler Morris doesn't apply to that because he was like the class of like 2018 coming out of high school. But, right, like UVA lost so much. And how did they replace that production? They brought in a ton more of seniors, redshirt seniors, and graduate transfers. I think they've got 53 guys with either an SR, an RSR, or a grad next to their name, right? Like, they're an old team yet again. How does that chemistry kind of come together in an instant early on in the season? These are all very valid questions, but they did it last year, so I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. And I believe Tony Elliott has found the secret sauce to making UVA successful, and he leaned into it again. They've got a really, really, really good quarterback, Bo Prabula, who had a really solid season at Missouri before getting hurt. I think he only had one loss prior to his ankle injury later on in the season. He's making the jump from the SEC to the ACC. And
the jump?
I was about to say, and let's be real, that jump really isn't all that much. It's actually kind of a step down. So if you had success in the SEC, you should be able to light up some ACC defenses this season. And like all of that, I think UVA, I think I picked him third or fourth. I picked him third in my ACC preseason ballot. I picked UVA. I was really kind of different on UVA. There was three teams I was different on. UVA, Clemson, I was much lower on Clemson than the rest of the media, and Stanford, I was much higher on Stanford.
I think the coaches put Clemson in the top 25 because they just recognize the brand. It's
I don't get the
you have to some extent because again, it's similar to the argument I was having with Matt yesterday about people not letting Aaron Rodgers go. Right, like this isn't the Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay years. You can disrespect him because he's washed.
He's terrible.
This is kind of this is the washed version of Clemson. Yeah. But from a national landscape and as far as the coaches go, like you're always going to find that they're going to respect that brand or have that fear that they could turn it around at any moment. Because if you think about their tenure as a top tier program, they have turned it around a lot of times, but I don't think it's going to get turned around this new era.
I'm down on Clemson, man.
I think I saw 3 ACC teams in the top 25 of the coaches poll. It was SMU, Miami, and Clemson. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's what I would expect.
I'm actually not as high on SMU as everybody else either.
Really?
Yeah, usually I am, but it makes me nervous that everybody else is so high on them this year.
That's valid. And SMU, right? Like. They kind of are in the same boat as Clemson, where they had a disappointing 2025, and then for all intents and purposes, they brought back pretty much the core of that team, didn't like add a ton of great talent, and now people are like, they're going to be great again, and it's like, well, kind of the definition of insanity. It's what I said about Clemson. Like if you're thinking that you're going to get different results, but you're doing the same thing, that's insanity. But the difference is Clemson doesn't have a guy named Kevin Jennings as their quarterback.
Jennings, man.
Kevin Jennings is a darn good quarterback.
He's so good, and then he's so confusing. I still remember.
What was it, the 4-interception game?
Yeah.
In the same game, he both threw 4 picks, and then he nearly single-handedly pulled off the comeback.
Yeah, in the same breath that I was like, what are you doing? Oh, my God, that is incredible. It's like, that's the Kevin Jennings experience right there.
Truly. Clemson 23rd in the coaches poll, SMU 20th, Miami 7th. Despite being in the national championship game, Miami is 7th.
I don't know if
Indiana
like
6th.
I don't know if I like the idea that Miami is 7th. I think they should have gotten a little bit more respect.
Let me tell you the teams ahead of the guys in the national championship in Indiana and Miami. Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Notre Dame. I think Indiana and Miami better than Texas, Notre Dame, and Georgia. Now, Ohio State, Oregon, they just seem to be great teams each and every year.
Oregon, Lanning is. I'm not a fan of Lanning. He's a front runner, and he's a goofball when he gets punched in the mouth. But he'll talk all kind of trash, and he'll run the score up on any other team. But the minute he faces a tough opponent, it's like he wants to cop a plea or there's some excuse. But with them, Dante Moore coming back, I think is huge.
Yes.
It's a storyline that we buried. The fact that he didn't go pro, he came back. It's not about the money. It's literally about his development. Even though he might say it's about the money, he was not ready to go to the Jets and play for a team
and
like
now
that.
He's crossing his fingers that Geno Smith gives him 4 wins, so he doesn't have to go to New York.
So I think that is huge to get him back for another season. They're without Will Stein, an offensive coordinator. How is that going to look? I think is another question that people haven't answered. Ohio State, I think, is just the staple because they're going to always win the offseason, man. They've always got what it takes to look good on paper.
But losing Brian Hartline, who was like the greatest wide receiver coach in the nation.
One of the best recruiters, too.
And they lost him. So how do they respond with that?
So Ohio State and Texas play a lot of the top 25 teams. So they're going to sort themselves out. So if you're a Miami or Notre Dame or even an Indiana to some extent, you just want to stay in their hip pocket, right?
Yeah.
Like just win the games you're supposed to win, and you'll see yourself in the playoffs regardless of what happens. But there's going to be a lot of blood spill between Ohio State, Texas, Georgia because they've got to play a lot of the top teams. So it'll sort itself out.
It's going to be a fun season. Receiving votes in the coaches poll, however, JMU is receiving votes. Virginia Tech is receiving votes, and UVA is receiving votes. UVA receiving the most, Virginia Tech receiving the second most, and JMU receiving the third most. But I want to know 804-327-0888, the Radkey Insurance phone line, radkeyinsurance.com to get started on your free quote today. As it stands right now on August 5th, how would you rank JMU, Virginia Tech, and UVA heading into the season? What's your mini power rankings heading into the year? Now, if you want to throw a team like ODU or Liberty in the top 3, I guess you can, but like, let's really face it. It's JMU, Virginia Tech, and UVA right now at the top of the Commonwealth, and then everyone else is kind of fighting for scraps behind them. How would you rank JMU, Virginia Tech, and UVA heading into this season? The voters in the coaches poll put it UVA, Tech, JMU. I'm putting it JMU, UVA, Virginia Tech as it stands right now on August 5th, even though JMU has a big old question mark next to their quarterback 1. It's a QB battle right now. I mean, we're in day 2 of JMU football camp. Billy Napier yesterday following practice took to the podium and talked about the quarterback battle that is going to be ongoing throughout this fall camp.
We'll start this process with 3 guys getting reps, and then at some point, we'll have to make a decision and narrow that to 2, and then we'll have to make a decision narrow it to 1. It's about distribution of reps. That's where our decisions as coaches come in. And then, we have a pretty good body of work, but I do think, these guys have changed quite a bit since that spring game until now. So let's give them a shot. We'll divide those reps up, and then we're going to reward what we see. And certainly we've had a chance to work with the players quite a bit in summer. But the decisions in terms of how we distribute the reps is going to be the next decision that we make.
So right now the quarterback battle is between Camden Coleman, the Richmond transfer, J.C. Evans, who's the homegrown talent, and Arrington Maiden, who joined the team this previous offseason from Memphis. I think it's really between Camden Coleman and J.C. Evans. And if JMU wants to be back in the Sun Belt title chase, I would go with Camden Coleman. He was electric at Richmond. He was really solid. And then he made that jump over to JMU, utilized his red shirt last season, where he was essentially clipboard Jesus, holding it all the time and making sure everyone knew what to do. But he really learned a lot, I would assume, in that role that sets him up nicely to be the QB1 this season after taking last season off.
Camden needs to show improve, right? Like you left Richmond to go to JMU. The guys who you would expect to be in front of you are out the way. He's a very talented quarterback. I would say he's a very talented dual threat quarterback because he can do both with the arms and the legs.
People don't think about that, but it's true.
Yeah, he really is. He's got good vision for a quarterback as well. So I would love to see him in the Billy Napier offense. I go back to Billy when he was at Louisiana, and when he was coaching in Louisiana, not LSU, but in Louisiana.
Yeah,
and he had a nice dual threat quarterback there, and they were explosive. I would like to see that at JMU. I think that's something JMU would love. I mean, Alonzo could run, but he didn't, right?
Alonzo was a great straight line runner. He lacked any agility.
Yeah, Cam's got some wiggle, man. Like, Cam is exciting. He's actually a better version of our guy from from ODU last year, when we were saying it was always a roller coaster. When
Colton Joseph, man, where is he now? He's at like Wisconsin or something now.
The Colton Joseph experience.
He was such a, and I don't mean any offense to Camden when I say this. Joseph was a much better athlete. That dude was a runner, but Camden's a better passer.
Yeah.
But man, Colton was a roller
and it was always like you're clutching your pearls because you don't know what he's going to do.
He was my favorite quarterback to watch in the Sun Belt.
I think Cam has a little bit of that in him, and I would like to see him win this battle.
I hope he does. And something Napier has talked a lot about this offseason. He even said it on the show, right? Where like they want to see, the cliche stuff, championship DNA, whatever, in a quarterback. But experience is a really big thing that Napier seems to value. And of the three QBs, Coleman, Evans, and Maiden, Coleman's the only one with real starting experience and real winning experience, right? Like, Cam won a lot in his first 2 years as a Spider, which is a big reason why he decided to enter the portal and find his way to JMU. J.C. Evans, he is a very, very dynamic runner. He's worked a lot on his passing motion. He used to almost have that Tim Tebow-esque motion where it starts at the hip and it rotates around like a big circle. Evans has really been intentional in his work these last two off seasons to really kind of fine tune that passing motion and create more of a traditional quarterback pass. And Evans has gotten much better passing the football, but his biggest strength is still his dynamism with his legs. I mean, the dude's like,
Tim Tebow's form was disgusting.
It was disgusting. But Evans is just a massive man.
Cam also protects the ball pretty well for a guy that
Cam protects it really
athletic.
well. Yeah.
So I think that'll probably go a long way with Billy as well, because from what you were describing, it sounds like basically the old school coach approach. Like, I want experience. I want this. I want that.
And if you're a team that expects to win the Sun Belt, right? And if you're a team, in my view, that's the best team in the Sun Belt, you're the only team in the Commonwealth that has made it to the college football playoff. And now the expectation is to be in the competition for that G6 spot each and every year. You kind of need to have a guy that is experienced and knows how to win, especially early on in the season.
Yeah. No, you do. You want to have stability. I was pretty surprised that it didn't seem like, even when they were talking about the group of five and things like that, didn't seem like JMU was getting as much respect nationally. I personally don't see this as a rebuild or even a step back. Like, Billy Napier is a proven coach at this level. Like, I expect them to come out and play arguably better than they did last year. I don't see why they're not getting a lot of love. Like, I understand Boise is a brand, and I understand Boise's schedule, I guess, or path would be a little bit easier. But I'm like, this is JMU, and this is Billy Napier.
I think the issue is because JMU's schedule is so terrible this year, they literally cannot afford a loss. If they lose any of their games this year, they're out of the running. They've got Wagner. They've got at San Diego State, which is their best game, and that's not even like a high-profile game. Like,
yeah, not anymore.
They don't have an FBS opponent this year. Their other non-conference game against an FBS opponent is at UConn. Woo, Storrs, Connecticut in November. That sounds like an absolute blast. Like the Sun Belt has just taken such a step back in terms of its talent and its ability from top to bottom, where you only have maybe one conference game that is considered a good game, maybe two, ODU and Troy this season. And then you've got Liberty, San Diego State, and UConn as your non-cons that are not an FCS school, and your FCS school is Wagner. Like, there's just not a lot of room for error, really. Like, you've got to win out. So I think that's why. Plus, when you're talking about a team and you can't talk about quarterback, that's something that I think a lot of pundits nationally take offense to. And the fact that QB1's a question, I think it's negatively impacting JMU right now.
Is it too late for me to push back and say I would argue that UVA is the number one team in the state?
Feel free.
I like UVA.
But you know what we've come to the conclusion of real quick? Virginia Tech is not in the top two.
No, not yet. Not yet. But one thing to keep an eye on when you're talking about the Wahoos for football, that offensive line has 11,000 career snaps between them. That is a lot of experience, right? And if there's one unit that could mask any kind of like deficiencies in quarterback, running back, receiver, even your defense, like the offensive line being like probably the unit that has the most experience and hits the ground running, I think is a positive for them. Their schedule is very, very, very friendly, all things considered. I do believe they avoid most of the top teams in the ACC. I think Sports Illustrated and a couple other entities have them predicted at 9-3. I could see them winning 10 games if the chips fall correctly. And like you said, Bo's a good quarterback, man. I think that was a good pickup for them. And Tony's figured something out, not just who to pay and how to pay, but like he's doing his due diligence in scouting people and bringing in the right guys that they don't have to do a whole lot of teaching and coddling. Like these guys hit the ground running. And so I expect UVA to look good this year.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. All right, let's get a quick break in, step aside, get some news or snooze here in hour number one of Fitz the Bill coming up next.
You're with Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN Richmond this morning. Short break coming up.
Summer is in full swing, and that means soccer season in RVA. Catch the next Richmond Kickers game Saturday, August 22nd, as your Kickers take on the Portland Hearts of Pine. It's Alumni Night at City Stadium as the Kickers salute past soccer legends. Kickoff is at 7, gates open at 5:30. Stop by early to sample the food trucks and take advantage of happy hour beverage specials. So grab the kids, bring the dogs, and meet your friends at City Stadium for Richmond Kickers soccer.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you will join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
106.1 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
You're great at protecting your data, but lots of places could still expose you to identity theft.
I thought it was safe.
If that happens, LifeLock gives you a U.S.-based restoration agent who will stick by your side from start to finish. Phone calls, filing documentation, preparing insurance claims, your agent handles it all. In fact, we're so confident restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Isn't it nice to have someone like that on your side? Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc?
We need to talk about the lights.
Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes.
A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes.
You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is time for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I left the pizza box on top of my car before driving home. Not smart. Oh, and a semi just turned my deep dish into a thin crust.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
106.1 ESPN weather.
With a hot and hazy day ahead of us with high humidity, mostly cloudy skies with some scattered thunderstorms both in the morning and afternoon. Highs will be reaching 88 degrees with lows tonight dropping down to 73.
Mornings in Richmond start here. Fitz the Bill. Back now on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. News.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Or snooze.
News or snooze, a day of highs and lows. Falcons ink Bijan to historic extension and lose Walker potentially for the year.
Newsworthy.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Terrible day in Atlanta. Great day in Atlanta.
Everybody but the Saints are getting injured.
Yeah, in the
which is
NFC
wild
South
to me. And which also makes me want to take a minute to give myself an out because I have clowned every single person who was like, the Saints are going to win that division.
And now they're going to win that division just because
by default.
They're going to, survival of the fittest at this point. Because the Panthers have lost like three, Nick Scorton, Chris Brazzell. They're like just a long list of players the Panthers have lost.
Our guy, who's the receiver for them, like
T-Mac?
No, not T-Mac. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank.
Chris Brazzell. What's his name? The guy that talks like this, but a lot deeper.
He got a concussion.
Xavier Legette.
Yeah, Legette got a concussion yesterday.
That was tough.
I don't know why I'm drawing. It's too many names. I'm not going to lie to you.
And Taylor Moton. So these are who the Panthers have had injuries to with recent updates as well. Nick Scorton, their edge rusher, was placed on the IR after tearing his ACL on the first day of camp. Chris Brazzell, IR after suffering an LCL tear, and Taylor Moton, one of their tackles, is listed on the NFI list, the non-football injury list, due to a blood clot, and he's going to miss the start of the year. Xavier Leggett suffered a stinger and a concussion. Jatavion Sanders, just a throwaway tight, no offense to Sanders, but a tight end that's battling for a roster spot. Chandler Zavala and Trayvon Mooring all are hurt for the Panthers.
They're not near a substation. I can verify that. So I don't know what's going on out there.
Y'all over there also suffering, but
I mean that's part. I mean, when Mike Evans gets hurt or sits out for
he sat out for a game due to hamstring
soft tissue injury. Oh no, I haven't seen that happen in his 15-year career. I expected that.
You're right. But so yesterday, Atlanta, right? They signed Robinson while we were on the show. Funnily enough, as we were talking about contracts at the running back position, Robinson inked the largest contract in running back history in the NFL. He is getting paid, like 20
until Jahmyr Gibbs gets signed.
Yeah, $22.25 million in average annual value, $75 million extension, $51 million guaranteed. This offseason, the Falcons have inked Drake London and Kyle Pitts as well, 2 extensions. So vibes are high on the offensive side. Vibes aren't as high on the defensive side, because entering their second year, Jalen Walker went down in 11-on-11 drill, and they fear he has torn his ACL. It's pending an MRI, but it confirmed tear will end his season. Yikes. And he was very good.
Important to note that according to, was it Spotrac or Spotrac? How you say it?
I say Spotrac.
Okay. According to Spotrac, his Bijan's average annual value was 18.9 and they gave him 22.5. So usually they're pretty spot on about average annual value, and most people don't exceed it by that much. So I'm interested to see what Gibbs is going to get, and if it's taken into account that that they went significantly higher, because Gibbs is projected at 20.2.
I think they'll give him 22.5. My feeling is 22.5. Or if they go less on the AAV, the average annual value of it, he'll get more guaranteed.
Yeah.
Or a longer deal with more guaranteed baked in. But I think he's for sure getting that. I think Spotrac, I think they're always slightly off on the running back market because so many running backs are vastly under. Like, just the way the pendulum has overswung in one direction, where like Saquon was the highest paid running back by like $6 million in average annual value up until this season.
Yeah.
Like him and Derrick Henry, like, were separated by 4
and Christian
to 6
McCaffrey slotted in there too.
Yeah, CMC's up there. Yeah. But like the rest of it, because it's all like one big algorithm that bases it off of other contracts. So I think it's thrown off just a hair by how underpaid running backs are.
Interesting enough.
But like, here's the thing. Right, the Falcons are able to quote unquote overpay Robinson. You know why?
Because they don't pay a quarterback right now.
Well, they don't pay a quarterback.
Not by quarterback standards.
That's for dang sure.
Thank you, Miami.
And they're gonna, they're going to have a. Here's the best case scenario for Atlanta: terrible season, cut bait with Tua and Penix, and then you could draft a quarterback with the top 5 pick. That is the perfect scenario for the Atlanta Falcons. But here's the thing. The reason they're able to sign Robinson, outside of the fact that they don't have a quarterback they have to pay, they get their guys extended early. Like, that is such a key to it all. And the Cowboys take a page out of their book. No, don't take a page out of the injury book, but how they inked Robinson. Do that.
Speaking of the Cowboys, Micah Parsons playing versus Cowboys in Week 6. Realistic.
Newsworthy. Good for him.
Man, shut up. They just told you won't play until Week 9. What happened to that nonsense about their plan and how they're solid on that? You got to wait like 9 weeks or something.
It's like 9 months, and
9 months.
It aligns kind of along with that Week 6 game. He said it's very realistic. It's his first public comment since camp open. He is still on the PUP list he tore his ACL in Week 15, and then there's a 9-month ACL protocol that Green Bay puts their players through, which aligns to about a late September practice return. We're talking about practice. Parsons framed his mindset as not a how soon, but more about how am I going to play when I get back. But a date has tentatively been set in Micah Parsons' whole return from ACL tear.
Let's see. Even in loss, Scooble plenty good in LA debut.
This is snooze worthy, but not snooze and not news, but snooze. Combine the two. You know why it's snooze?
Why?
Because Shohei Ohtani, I don't think will ever pitch this season again.
I have friends texting me like, see, I told you. I'm like, dude, it's one game.
He also went 6 innings, struck out 6, and allowed just 2 runs. That's a fairly good start for the first time.
Talk to me when the playoffs come and there's some random guy at the bottom of their lineup hitting for 600, and it's not Kiki. Is Kiki even still on the team? Kiki Hernandez is always lurking somewhere.
He's just going to hit a home run when you least expect it. But Skubal had a pretty solid debut, because if you look at his advanced metrics, 99.3 mile an hour peak, 44% whiff rate on his changeup. Pretty good stuff.
No, it looked like a game that the bullpen lost to me. That's why the
offense lost.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it. And you're going to have those in the baseball season.
And right now, the Dodgers low-key going through a little bit of a tough sled.
They've got like a 40-game lead. They can blow it.
No, I know. They've lost 5 straight, 2 against Chicago.
It's hard to stay motivated when you're so much better than everybody else in your division.
And especially after you just got the best pitcher on the market.
Yeah, it's like, what do we have to look forward to? Oh, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Rockies.
I bet they're like, I kind of want to play in the wild card. I want to feel something.
Yeah, right.
I want to feel something again.
Let's make it difficult.
But I think this just shows the way they were talking about it too. He's going to be the ace on this staff, even if Shohei returns. I just don't think Shohei's returning. And we talked about it yesterday. We've talked about it a couple of times. This signals to me that Shohei will not pitch this season, and not to sound the alarm, but he may never pitch again in a starting role.
They don't need him to pitch. And if he does come back and pitch, just please don't do the Spencer Strider thing. Put him in the bullpen. Yeah. Enough is enough.
Make him the closer.
If Spencer Strider decides to if he went to, Walt Weiss and was like, just put me in the pen, I would so much respect that.
Yeah.
We've tried this over and over and over. Your body's not holding up as for the starting pitching regimen. It's just not.
And also, if he goes into the bullpen and goes as a closer, Shohei Ohtani is going to set records as a closer.
I saw Shohei close the World Baseball Classic, and he struck out pretty much everybody.
He'll step into a closer role, and just because he won't have the longevity, he won't hit a lot of career records. But I guarantee you, if he goes into a closer role with the Dodgers, he will have the best single season a closer has ever had.
Japanese Smoltz. Forget Babe Ruth. Japanese Smoltz.
Just throw out all the great names.
Otani-san. So we're doing
And this would be the most epic way for Shohei to finish out a game. Go in, hit a home run, and then close it. Yeah. Now that would be epic.
And then you can pitch him as an opener, and you can still say he's kind of a starter.
There you go.
Yeah,
we fixed it.
Yep.
We fixed it. Why need a closer when you got an opener?
Yeah. Why even bother when you got an Ohtani?
Why even play the games? Just give Dodgers a win. Just give them 100 wins, and then they'll sort it out.
Pretty much bought it anyway.
Hey, all right. And they're the reason why baseball may not be playing
1.1 billion or 1.5 billion, I think, was the deferred amount of money.
Something like that.
That's insane.
I don't know. They'll add to it with Skubal this offseason.
That's insane.
No, I don't think Skubal's going to re-sign with LA.
I don't think they're going to have the rules to let him re-sign.
I don't think they'll be in a baseball league to play in next season.
No, because they're in debt. 1.5 billion.
That's a lot of debt. That's like the United States national debt up there. All right, we'll be back. Hour number 2 coming up with some more training camp news and nuggets. And say what? 9:15.
1061 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
Attention Thomas Jefferson High School Mighty Vikings alumni. The bicentennial class of 1976 is celebrating our 50th reunion this October 2nd through the 4th, and we want you there. It's been 5 decades of memories, milestones, and Viking pride. Now it's time to reconnect, reminisce, and roar like Vikings once again. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime celebration. Reach out today at tjvikings76@gmail.com or on Facebook at TJHS Class of 1976. Let's make this reunion truly unforgettable. Go Mighty Vikings!
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
That's not far.
What are we going to do? Hike?
Sure.
Are we there yet?
Yep, it's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org, brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN. You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 1061 ESPN.
Welcome in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill right here on 1061 ESPN Richmond. Appreciate you clocking in, making us part of your day. Feel free to call, text in here in hour number 2, 804-327-0888. Taking a look around the NFL. Because, look, there's a lot of news to dive into. Hour 1, we talked about Jaden Daniels. We talked about Chigakonkwo and how that Commanders team should be shaping up heading into week 1 with a contest against the Philadelphia Eagles. And week 2 doesn't get much easier against the Dallas Cowboys. And week 3 might be their toughest of them all with the Seattle Seahawks. But now we turn our attention to the NFL at large because there's a couple of fun little news and nuggets hovering around the teams and the league. Mainly Patrick Mahomes and his recovery from his ACL, LCL tear. He has taken every first-team rep in camp, according to reports out of Kansas City, and he's rolling out and throwing off the surgically repaired knee. Chris Jones, the future Hall of Fame defensive tackle, said, quote, he looks like Pat Mahomes. It doesn't look like anything's changed. And, I got to ask you, Alan, can we drug test Patrick Mahomes more often? Because how has this man recovered from an ACL tear in 8 months in the fact that he's able to do all of this?
I think Patrick Mahomes probably takes better care of his body than most people give him credit for, despite his awful decisions on putting ketchup on everything.
Ketchup. He also, you're right, because did you ever watch that Netflix documentary, Quarterback?
Yeah. I've seen his stretching routine and everything. I'm a proponent that a lot of our modern athletes are not training appropriately. That's why we see so many non-contact injuries. And I think the guys who put more emphasis on stretching and flexibility are the ones who have the longevity that we want them to have.
Yeah, that's a great point, because if you watch the Quarterback Netflix documentary, you'd watch Patrick Mahomes go through these stretching routines.
He gets bent like a bow. It's crazy.
They put him they essentially mimic rolled ankles and sprained ankles so that his ligaments get used to that type. It's crazy stuff.
It works.
It works really well. And he's recovering exceptionally well off of this ACL, LCL tear. And it's just, I think we don't think Patrick Mahomes is all that takes care of his body, because he's also kind of chubby. He's kind of got a dad bod going on.
Yeah, but that
might just be the flak jacket.
Think about our modern quarterbacks, man. Quarterbacks throughout history, they're not the most Superman chiseled athletes. Like Tom Brady looks like a normal guy. Peyton Manning looked like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Drew Brees looks like
a normal guy.
Looked like he should be playing pickleball. No offense to the pickleball players, but that's what he looked. He didn't look like a football player.
See me in pickleball. See me in pickleball.
But I'm just saying, I think we sometimes forget that our guys who are built like those superheroes are the other players, right? The other people at the other positions, not at the quarterback position. This is gonna be funny, but it's the 80s villain, right? You ever see the superheroes that the 80s heroes that look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they're going against the dad bod villain?
Yeah.
That's what our quarterbacks are. They're the dad bod villains, which is cool with me. It gives me hope that one day maybe I can get out there.
I mean, yeah, you got it.
I can't throw a football and save my life.
Really?
No, I can't throw it. I can throw a baseball perfectly fine. I don't know what it is about me in football. I'm I'm so average with a football throw. It's embarrassing.
I'm actually like pretty good at throwing a football.
I can throw it far, but it's not going to look like it spiraling.
See, I got it. My issue with it is I can't take anything off of it. So I've got like the Will Levis issue of like I'm always throwing fastballs.
Yeah, see,
like it's coming out and it's a tight spiral.
I wish I could throw a fastball, but nah.
Well, I was playing intramural flag football back in the day, and we'd have like little crossers and stuff where the receiver's only like 5 yards away. I would pew, and the receiver's like, "Can you please take something off?" I'm like, if I do, it's a lollipop, and it might get picked, so it's coming at you quick.
All right, Ty Simpson.
Hey, yeah, name any of them. Yeah, Matt Stafford throws bullets. I'm doing that. But like Mahomes needs to be that 80s film villain and have that type of ability, because you look at the roster for Kansas City and there just is not a lot of talent there. You've got Kenneth Walker, and then you've got Patrick Mahomes, and who else? Genuinely, who else?
Travis
right? Like
Swift.
He's gonna take her last name.
I would.
That would be the highest selling jersey in NFL history.
Exactly.
For
marketing purposes.
So much money.
Make me a Swift.
Hey, honestly, I'll do it. If he took her last name, you know how many jerseys that would sell?
He could literally retire right now.
He would never not be the number one selling jersey, like for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, man.
We just stumbled into a great business idea.
Let me holler. I'll be
hey, dear Mr. Travis, have you ever thought about changing your name to Swift? But like, really, who else do they have? Travis Kelce, Travis Swift. Sure, I guess, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna plant my flag with a 35-year-old tight end who has been slowly diminishing each and every year. He might be good in the playoffs. If you get there, then who do you have? Rashee Rice, who had to rehab his knee injury in jail? Jail?
He looked good running out of jail. Did you see him running from the paparazzi?
I bet he did look good running from the jail.
He looked fine to me.
Xavier Worthy, who's hurt again. He fell on his shoulder and he hurt his shoulder.
Man, Xavier Worthy has so much big play potential too.
Sure. I don't think we'll ever see it. He's Kadarius Toney 2.0.
Oh my God, don't do him like that. He's better than Tony. God, he's better than Tony.
Is he better than Tony? Tony caught 2 touchdowns in a Super Bowl?
Yeah, he's better than Tony. You just can't stay healthy to show it.
That was kind of Kadarius Toney's issue too. And then you got Tyquan Thornton. Like Mahomes really going to have to go full 80 supervillain to have any chance of winning 10 games this season.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations where you look at a lot of the games and you're like, how is this even possible? Right?
He may miss the playoffs this year, and it might be his best quarterback season.
Yeah.
Like if he can will this team to 8 or 9 win, that'll be a miracle.
Yeah, the Schwarzenegger villains, not the Sylvester Stallones. There's no Drago, no Clubber Lang, none of that. Like those are the real villains. Like we're talking about these guys that you look at and you just kind of laugh like, why is this even a thing? That's pretty much going to be the Chiefs' offense this year, unless somebody steps up.
Someone's got to step up, and he's going to need maybe it's Kenneth Walker. Like maybe it's Kenneth Walker, but
can you see Andy Reid calling a game where they drop back 25 times? I don't think that's going to work.
No, I don't. And like I also. Do you see a season where Kenneth Walker is healthy for all 17 games, averaging 17 touches a game?
Yeah, not with his running style. And also, they've got to figure out a way to stretch it. They can't continue to play in this like boring, just I don't even know what to call their offense anymore. And I know we got one diehard Chiefs fan, KC Rick. I'm sure he sees it. I think. We look at Patrick Mahomes, we think Texas Tech, we think of all the magic that he had when he had Tyreek Hill and things like that. And so we give this assumption that he is still the best quarterback in the league. But from a production standpoint, I don't think he's been the best quarterback in the league for several years, not just last year, but I'm thinking probably 3 years ago.
He's the most dangerous, but I would agree with you that he's not necessarily the best. If I'm like, we did that exercise this offseason, right? If we're starting a franchise tomorrow, who are you taking? It wasn't Patrick Mahomes.
And so if you're the teams that, because again, we're looking outside of their division first. So if you're the Bengals, the Ravens, the Bills, I don't think you fear Mahomes and the Chiefs anymore. I really don't.
No.
And then if you look in their division, if you're the Broncos, who has a really aggressive defense, you definitely don't fear them, right? And so in order for the Chiefs, I think, to get some wiggle room and to get back to the standard that was the Kansas City Chiefs. They've got to put that fear back into people, and the only way they can do that is if they get explosive plays back into their offense, and they just have not had that over the last 2 seasons, I think.
No, out of all the quarterbacks over the last 2 seasons, right, 2024 and 2025, who have taken 320 snaps, he ranks 35th out of 43 in average depth of target, 7.2 yards. For comparison's sake, in 2018, that was 9.1. In 2019, it was 8.8.
Can I slander? Patrick Mahomes is the game manager you guys think a lot of other quarterbacks are, right? Like, seriously, he's the dink and doink guy, and he doesn't get any criticism for it.
Because he showed that he's not the dink and dunk guy.
He's been the dink and doink guy for 2 years. And everybody else who does that gets criticized. But Mahomes can do it for 2 years and get a pass. Is ridiculous, and it's also unacceptable because I know he could throw the ball down the field.
Since the start of the 2023 season, there's been 54 quarterbacks that have taken 320 snaps or more, right? 54. He ranks 46th in the league since the start of the 2023 season in average depth of target, 7 yards.
Where's Brock Purdy on that list? No, for real, because it's hilarious to me.
Brock Purdy is 18th on this list, and he has an 8.2 average depth of target.
And people will tell you, like, if you walked up to the average NFL fan, they would say Brock Purdy's a game manager. He's a check down guy.
This feels a little personal.
No, it's just he's just one example, but there's a ton of them, right? There's a ton of quarterbacks. Like, that's the stigma. They're check down guys. They're system quarterbacks and all this other dumb stuff that we say about people. But Mahomes somehow escapes everything.
You took this a route. I was mainly saying that he needs to kind of return to his early playing days. You took this to
hold him to the same standard.
I'm just distancing myself from you here as you are besmirched.
No, it's not. Well, it's not fair. Hold him to the same standard.
Between now your hatred for Mahomes and you holding him to that same standard, and my hot take where Andy Reid has lost his fastball and he needs to show us that he has it again this offseason, we may turn from Philly haters to Kansas City haters.
And I will say my hatred for Mahomes is that I only hate great players. So when a great player starts to play bland to me, it makes me feel like I've wasted my time hating on you.
That's not a Mahomes issue. That's an Andy Reid issue.
I think it's a bit of both.
Since they lost Tyreek Hill, he has just not been able to push it down the field because they don't have anyone that they can push it down the field to. Like, since Tyreek Hill left, they're like, Mecole Hardman's going to take that role. Kadarius Toney.
I watch Patrick Mahomes throw 60-yard passes to Scantling. He can throw 60-yard passes to Xavier Worthy and everybody else. Throw the ball, man.
Well, the issue for that is he needs Xavier Worthy on the field.
That's true.
But Xavier Worthy was supposed to be Tyreek Hill.
Sky Moore was on the team at one point. Throw the ball, man.
Hollywood Brown was on the team and he got hurt.
Throw the ball.
Have we investigated a substation around Kansas City?
Nah, it's Patty's just playing too conservative.
I'll throw one more slide on Kansas City. Their barbecue ain't even that good.
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there.
Hey, North Carolina got the best barbecue.
I prefer North Carolina barbecue, but I'm not going to disrespect. I'm not going to disrespect the barbecue.
I take it back. But man, that Carolina barbecue, you give me vinegar-based, I'm a vinegar-based guy.
But again, I say all that to say, since we're talking football, Patrick Mahomes isn't my number one quarterback in the league.
Who's your number one quarterback in the league?
I'm going to give it to Josh Allen heading into this season. And I don't even think it's close between the two of them until Mahomes starts throwing the ball further than 7 yards.
I even have Lamar over Patrick Mahomes right now.
I would take Lamar over Patrick Mahomes right now.
I think Lamar is criminally underrated.
So Patrick Mahomes is a great Big Ten quarterback right now. Old school
Big
Ten.
Let's play a fun game here. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow.
I mean, I'll take Joe Burrow for sure.
Whoa. Really? Over Patrick Mahomes?
Over this version of Patrick Mahomes? Yeah.
All right.
If you give me Patrick Mahomes from, like 2023 and back, I'll take him over anybody. After 2023, I don't want anything to do with Patrick Mahomes, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's Andy. I don't know if it's Patrick, but I'm telling you, especially 2 years ago, I watched this man go the entire month of October, basically, and not throw a passing touchdown. Who are you? Who are you?
You know what's kind of crazy, too? Would you pick Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes right now?
Man, that bias out of it, I'm going to take Mahomes.
I mean, you look at some of the advanced metrics, right? Brock Purdy, though, since the start of 2023, has been a better quarterback in terms of average depth of target and adjusted EPA per play. Brock Purdy leads the NFL in adjusted EPA per play since the start of 2023.
And that's why I say I think it's a little bit of Patrick Mahomes, because the only difference between him and Purdy is he's a risk taker. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's calling plays to be thrown down the field. He's as conservative as he could possibly be. He's looking for a field goal most of the time.
Also crazy, and like this is it is insane. This is why I love advanced metrics, because like sometimes you see something with your eye, and then the advanced metrics like really confirm it, right? Like Mahomes isn't pushing the ball down the field. That's confirmed. And since the start of 2023, Patrick Mahomes has a completion percentage over expectation of just 2%. So what does that mean? It means he isn't really completing passes that he shouldn't be all that often. And so like, you know, you complete a pass that has a 20% expected completion percentage because it's far down the field. It's a tight window pass, something like that. He's at 2%. You know who other quarterbacks around hit that number? Jordan Love, Daniel Jones, Tyler Shuck, Jaden Daniels, Jake Browning, Dak Prescott. Like, if Patrick Mahomes is supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks, I'm not trying to besmirch Patrick Mahomes, but there are parts of his game since the start of 2023 that you've kind of pointed out and now have had me dive into the advanced stats here.
I'm telling you, man, something's been off. Well, and I don't know what it is.
And now, to bring it full circle, right, now that he's recovering from this ACL and LCL tear, I'm saying the Chiefs are in for another rough season this year because he's not going to be 100% until maybe week 4, and they just don't have the talent around Patrick to overcome that. And then Patrick, the way he has been playing over the last couple of seasons, hasn't shown that he can overcome a bad supporting cast.
He's going to have to take some chances.
I still think he is the second best quarterback of all time. I'm going to say that right now, though. His high was so high. I'm still a believer.
I mean, I'm slandering him, but I'm not going to play single high against him. I mean, I'm not going that crazy. Like I was talking to somebody about the Niners failures in the Super Bowl yesterday, and I brought up that one play where Wilkes decided to go cover 0, and even Kyle Shanahan, who never interferes with defense, was like, "Timeout! What are you doing?" Like literally, timeout. We are not running cover 0 against Patrick Mahomes. Like Mahomes looking over to the sideline, like, "Are you for real right now?" I'm never going to disrespect him like that because he hasn't lost his fastball. I just think he's just willing to throw a changeup instead, which is weird to me. I don't know what
he prefers his changeup now.
Yeah, I don't know what changed in his approach to the game since 2023. I don't believe it's a play calling thing at its entirety.
I think it's 75% play calling. I really do think it's 75% play calling.
I need risky Patrick Mahomes back. I need the Patrick Mahomes that I thought would go for 12 interceptions and also 45 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, I need that back. And I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, and I do think it is mostly play calling.
It's like Steph Curry settling for layups. It's weird.
I think it's play calling, and I think it's the lack of a supporting cast. Doesn't have Tyreek Hill. Like, he doesn't have the guy that can unlock the defense. Plus, the defensive quote-unquote meta has changed so much since the 2023. Right, they gone more too high. We've stacked the box a little bit more, and that just isn't how Mahomes was able to butter his bread.
If the Chargers finish better than the Chiefs this year,
Chargers are going to finish.
I will hate Patrick Mahomes.
Chargers are going to win my days. Chargers are going to win the AFC West, man.
You better not let man finish better than you, Pat.
Hey, Justin Herbert, he's going to be in MVP conversations. It's the Madison Beer effect. It's the Madison Beer effect. That's just, I calls him like I sees him. All right. Let's get a quick break in. We'll step aside. 804-327-0888. The Radkey Insurance phone line is open. RadkeyInsurance.com to get started on your free quote today. We'll get a quick break in. Go to Say What as we continue taking a look around training camps in the NFL.
Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Back in just a moment.
Catch up on the latest horse racing news with Off to the Races live broadcast 10 a.m. to noon every Saturday on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by the Racing Biz.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Gail?
When I retired, I just let all my taxes pile up. I had gotten many threatening letters. The one that said they were going to try and take my property was probably the scariest. When I found out that I owed close to $300,000, I was in total shock. It was a bad situation. I didn't know what to do.
Then Gail found tax relief advocates.
When TRA told me I was only going to owe $368, I just was in total disbelief.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Gail did and call TRA for a consultation.
I was so blessed with TRA.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-544-7357. 800-544-7357. That's 800-544-7357.
Stop smoking with hypnosis or your money back. How can Alex Goen make that claim? In 1979, Goen's thesis was bold, a technology for rewiring the subconscious. The Goen method became so powerful that Alex did something no other hypnotist ever dared. In 1999, he asked the U.S. Patent Office to examine it. That's right, the United States government. On August 13, 2002, the Patent Office agreed and issued a patent. Their exact words on the record, a unique, new, and useful process. That's not marketing, that's federal record. Today, 500,000 people later, that technology is engineered for one thing. You walk in a smoker, you walk out free. No cravings, no weight gain, no willpower needed. That's how Goen can be so certain. Only $59.99 or your money back. Stop Smoking Seminar Monday, August 17th, 8 p.m., Hilton Garden Inn, Colonial Heights. Weight loss, 5:30 p.m. or Tuesday, August 18th, 8 p.m., Comfort Suites at Virginia Center Commons. Weight loss, 5:30 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at alexgoen.com. Goen. That's alexgoen.com.
This is advertising material.
Businesses have a responsibility to keep you safe. Patch the pothole, fix the broken step, wipe the parking lot, mop the floor, and put up a sign. When they skip those basics and someone gets hurt, that's negligence. If you slipped, tripped, or fell on someone else's property, Alexander Shinard Trial Attorneys want to hear from you. Call 877-222-6666 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. alexwins.law.
This is advertising material. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Every case is different. Philip George's licensed attorney in Virginia is responsible for legal work. Office is located in Norfolk.
You're listening to Fitz the Bill, Richmond's morning sports talk show on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill here on this Wednesday morning. Appreciate you clocking in, making us part of your day as we head on out to the phone lines. 804-327-0888. Reggie on line one. Good morning, Reggie. How are we doing?
Good morning, Tyler Town. What's going on, young man?
And nothing much. How are you?
Pretty good. Looking at the new media personalities this year, I want to get you guys' thoughts about how they're going to do. Mike Tomlin making his debut on NBC, and I believe Russell Wilson on CBS. What you guys think about how they're going to do in the follow-up, if I may?
Yeah, of course. I think Mike Tomlin is going to be very good. I think he was very good in press conferences, kind of told it like it was. He always had a weird saying for anything that may come up. So I think he'll be very good in that like analyst role, as long as he's okay with sometimes being critical. Whereas for Russell Wilson, I think it can go one of two ways. I think he can be very, very good. Like in Seattle, he was great behind the mic. In Seattle, fans absolutely loved him. But he's got to be kind of the similar thing to Mike Tomlin. Like he's got to be willing to sometimes be a little edgy or be a little raw around the edges, where I think sometimes Russell has a very, very buttoned up kind of outside persona. If he can kind of unbutton one or two, I think he can be really good on the desk.
Yeah, what about Tony Romo and his off-the-field problem?
Hey, oh, man, Romo. I hope Romo, if he needs the help he needs, I hope he gets it. I'm very intrigued to see how CBS handles that entire thing, because he's on leave right now as they do like some sort of investigation. Like it's for Romo. Look, Romo, I don't know how much I should say. I worked with Romo a little bit at CBS, and by worked with, I mean we would have to go through his agent and his media. Like there'd always be all these steps. Some of the commentators at CBS were absolutely awesome to work with. Romo was fine. Like Romo was fine, and then I think over the last couple of years, some of the anti-Romo people have gotten a little bit louder. So I wonder how much of this is CBS seeing an out to get out of a pretty massive contract with Romo for, maybe what they see as a depreciating asset.
Yeah. How you think Tom Brady going to do? What is this, year 3 or 4 for Brady?
I think this is year 3. He's gotten better each and every year. Like he has figured out what his cadence is. He's figured out what his style is. Year 1, it was terrible. Last year was good, not great. But I mean, if we continue on that same trajectory, right? Year 3, he should have more chemistry with Kevin Burkhardt. He should have a little bit more feel for things. I always will just find it weird, though, that since he's a part owner of the Raiders, He's not allowed in like any pre-production calls. He's not really allowed at any other team's facility. And just pure know-how and knowledge can only get you by so far. Eventually, you need to have those conversations and you need to have that insight that the coaches and players give you. And the fact he doesn't really get that at the same level as other commentators will eventually, I believe, come back to bite him in the bud.
Yes, I get Michael Robinson on NFL Network. How long has he been? He's been there for a minute.
He's been there for a long time. We're trying to connect with Mike Robb next time he's in Richmond as well. Mike Robb, he's a good time. But he's fun. He's a good time. He was a fun personality in Seattle too.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying the 804 stand up on a national level. Yes, I get Tim Days from Tucker High School. I mean, Days been ESPN for a guy, and I'm glad he made the cut. He's been there for a long time. He loves Richmond. It's like the movie Samuel Jackson with the basketball. I said, where you from? Richmond. How you feel? In my heart. And he gave love to Ben Wallace. So I said, Tim Legler, I hope you guys can get him on the air. He does a great job on as an analyst with the NBA.
Yeah, he does. I also always forget that Tim Legler, Richmond based as well, or Richmond guy. I always forget about that one.
Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, Reggie. Always appreciate Reggie calling in.
I think I know this is going to sound kind of crazy, but hear me out.
Okay.
I think Tom Brady's lane isn't the traditional role of that position. I get excited, and I think a lot of people get excited when Tom Brady does the GOAT thing where he teaches, right? If Tom Brady leans into the teaching component, if Tom Brady gets a little Madden in him, starts drawing on the screen and explaining things.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, like if he does that angle, I think he's got a bright future and can establish himself in that role. But he's got to be with the guy, like he's partnered with the perfect person. Their chemistry is great, but every time he gives you nuances on football, like it's I hate to say it, but it's like Jordan telling you how basketball works, or Tiger Woods telling you how golf works, or if Ali was around, Ali telling you how boxing works. Like it's literally insight from someone who is undisputedly the best of his era and of almost all time, if you want to make that argument too. But I think allowing fans into the mind of somebody like that on a simplified level is what his draw is.
That's the key, though. That last word you said, simplified.
Yeah.
That's where I think he is struggling. And that is the toughest final piece to put together, because you have it here. How do I now communicate it to my mom, my grandma?
Because if you start doing because Peyton does it, right? He's good and he explains why Omaha, right?
Yes.
If you just go full Omaha, not the average person ain't keeping up with that, man.
Yes. And so you have to figure out a way. And I think that's I think he thinks the first year, I think he was thinking way too much.
Yeah.
And what do they say in the sport of football? When you think you've lost,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Year two, I think he was thinking a little less. If he can just find a way to really not think in year three and just talk and explain the game, I think he'll be really good.
I think Mike Tomlin just needs to be himself. He's a cool dude, man.
Just don't be like so polished and so nice.
Don't be
like,
Coach Tomlin.
I hope, and this is going to sound rude, but I hope Tomlin has no interest in getting back into coaching, because those are the best analysts. When they have an eye to get back into coaching, they might try to be a little nice and beat around the bush.
I don't know what his plans are, but if we could just get Mike Tomlin, not Coach Tomlin, I think that'd be great. I don't know what Russell can do. Maybe take a page out of WWE, be a heel turn.
I think he can be, if he also, because he's a great football mind too. Like if he can find a way to explain simply and be a little looser with it, if he's too buttoned up, that's just not going to work.
Just don't be like RG3 level corny. That's all I ask.
Please.
Don't do that.
Please. Goodness.
Yeah, we don't need that.
You just made me mad.
I know.
He's so corny.
Just being honest, man. Yeah, Don't bring that stuff into.
Don't go to
analysis.
Twitter and be like, "What's your thoughts?"
Yeah,
man, shut up.
Yeah,
you tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, Gronk can get away with it because he's goofy and he's just the frat boy guy.
Yeah, Gronk has always been that character, though.
I don't want to see Broncos Nation, let's ride type Russell, man.
Or the dangerous sandwich. That's such a cringeworthy Subway commercial.
Oh,
all right, let's go to Say What, because Q Myers, game night host, was talking about Matthew Stafford, and it's a pretty great point that he made last night that I think we're all forgetting when it comes to the Los Angeles Rams.
What are you saying?
Excuse me? What? Excuse me?
What? Say what? What the are you saying?
This is why I pause when it comes to the Rams. As great as they look on paper, and they have everything that you could ever imagine. It wasn't that long ago. Matter of fact, it was this time last year. We were talking about Matt Stafford and can he even make it through the season? Why is he like the Teflon Don now this year? Why
because
are we
he
not?
Made it
why I know, but why? Yeah, but now he's older.
Won an MVP, right?
I know, but that's like you driving your old car, and this is not a disrespect to anyone with the old car or calling Matt Stafford old, but I mean he's an older dude. I mean, there's been times where you've driven old reliable across country and it worked. But there was no idea that you were like, hey, let's try it again because it worked the last time. Like,
right.
I better go and, make sure this bad boy's tuned up and everything. And he might be great. He might be good to go and nothing missed. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot, man, when the dude's older like that, relying on him to stay healthy.
I wholeheartedly agree. And it's something that I don't think a lot of people are talking about when it comes to Los Angeles Rams. And that's probably because, right, like Myles Garrett is there. Aaron Donald might be coming back. Did you see, Alan, Sean McVay's comments on the Aaron Donald situation yesterday?
No, I don't need to see McVay's comments. I've seen Aaron Donald gradually warming up for a season debut, so it's cool. I've accepted. So I'm at the acceptance phase.
I'll give you a quick little snippet of what Sean McVay said. He said there won't be any news on that front until we get back from Woodland Hills. We've loosely had some different timelines that are temporary. I want to keep those things between us just if something unforeseen happens out of respect for him in the situation. But I know this, things are going in the right direction. And if there's an arrow, it's trending upwards.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sean McVay. Again, I'm at the acceptance phase. At this point, the surprise will be that he doesn't come back for me.
Donald's back. Tell a friend.
Man, it's gonna be awful.
So, like, that's taking up all the oxygen in the room. It's the Garrett and the Donald of it all when it comes to the Rams, and we are forgetting the fact that even with those two Hall of Fame level players, the greatest players at their respective positions in the last 20 years, even with that happening, this season still hinges on the health of Matthew Stafford. And Q Myers, game night host, is saying the quiet part out loud, right? We are all just assuming that Stafford is going to be an auto start each and every week, despite him being one of the most beaten and battered quarterbacks in his era, right? He's 38 years old, and he has been injured nearly each and every one of those 38 years, it feels like. Like, the dude took an absolute pounding in Detroit, and at the start of last season, they needed to bring in their own specialized trailer that parked in the parking lot of training camp so he could get specialized treatment on his back. He is maybe the furthest thing from a sure thing possible that he's going to start all 17 games in the regular season. And you know who the backup is? Mr. Ty Simpson.
Well, I will go out and say I think Stafford's probably the last of a dying breed in the sense of, like, he will literally give his life to play. And the guy's played 17 years, and you can only look at 4 seasons where he hasn't hit at least 15 games. I think that's why people are optimistic that no matter, he's literally going to have to die to not play at least 15 games.
You're right, but also he is on death's doorstep.
No, he is.
Not actual death, of course. We're being very, very dramatic when it comes to that. But, like, he's on season-ending injury doorstep.
No, for sure. And I think the biggest issue is, like, it's a back issue, right? It's kind of like the Romo thing where
drunk and driving.
No, like Romo at the end of his career with his back. Like, we don't know, and it only takes one blindside hit or something like that.
Yeah.
I think to
takes
really,
one guy low, one guy high.
Yeah, something like that. So, but I mean, I understand what he's saying, and I also was one of the ones at the beginning who was like, well, this all hinges on the health of the quarterback. But dang, man, the dude's 37 and threw for 4,700 yards last year.
MVP last year.
Why would MVP last year? Why wouldn't I be optimistic about that? Why wouldn't I?
Well, because
assume
around this time last year there was talks of retirement because his nerves were damaged so badly in his back.
And he said to HELL with that, I'll give my nerves and everything else for the game and this team. And I'm not worried about it in the sense of like I would assume that they have a contingency plan. I don't like that it's Ty Simpson.
They do have one,
but they do have a contingency plan.
Honestly, you know what Aaron Donald's probably been doing these last couple of years? Figuring out how to play quarterback. Maybe he's their contingency plan. Maybe he's an old school,
way too aggressive for quarterback.
Maybe he's an old school two-way player. Like we see with these high schools around 804. Maybe we get a DTQB.
Oh my God.
That's a pairing.
He's way too aggressive. I couldn't imagine him.
I think he's also too short to be a quarterback.
Yeah, but I couldn't imagine him doing anything on the offensive side of the ball as aggressive as he is. Maybe a guard.
Maybe that's what he's been doing the last couple of years, right? He's really been working on his aggression.
But McVay's got a good system to protect him too. He doesn't put him in a lot of harm's way. If you think about it, I want to say his attempts last year were pretty high, but it was a lot of 13 personnel and a lot of get the ball out quick. He's very creative with how he gets Cooper Kupp. God. He's very creative how he gets Puka Nacua and the rest of these guys involved as well. So it's one of those things where I think it's a good balance between staff and coach understanding what they have to work with and balancing that and trying to manage how much impact he takes as a quarterback as well.
Puka Nacua, a guy that might not be playing in week 1, though.
I know, but I know more about Puka Nacua's situation than I do Malik Neighbors, and that's why I'm concerned about the Giants, just to kind of keep it in perspective.
I'm
here.
concerned about every part of the Giants.
Puka's going to play. We know Puka's going to play.
Well, he might get suspended. He bit a woman, allegedly.
He's going to get suspended, and that's probably 3 to 5 games maybe. And I'm not trying to downplay the fact that he bit a woman, but
did you see the pictures of the bite?
I can only imagine. I've been one of the folks that already told people before this that he was a nutcase.
He's crazy.
You can tell he's a nutcase by how he plays. But so I'm not totally shocked. But I think knowing what to expect, there's not an unknown with Puka in the sense of the Rams. They know.
Yes.
And I think that makes them more comfortable with this situation than like Malik Neighbors, who keeps going back for like checkups on his leg and things like that.
He's still not on the PUP list. So that means he's still slated to play potentially in the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah. So we'll see. But also just perspective too, like he's had some really healthy seasons.
Puka?
No, just Stafford when he was with the Rams.
Yeah, he has had some healthy seasons. They've done a good job. But the issue too is they've lost a couple of key pieces on their offensive line.
Yeah.
I think, and it really is scary how much I believe this season hinges on the health of Stafford. Like if Stafford misses 4 games, I don't think they can go 2-2 in 4 games with Ty Simpson. Like even with an elite level defense, I just think their offense would become anemic.
I was gonna make a joke about Todd Simpson, but what if Stetson Bennett comes in and he's like the Tom Brady of it all?
Now that would be hilarious.
Stafford's Drew Bledsoe gets hurt, and then Stetson Bennett, the guy that you least expected to do anything, comes in and because he's like 30.
Stetson's old, and Stetson was like away from the team all last year. Yeah. I think the rumor mill. I don't even know what the rumor mill was saying. It was weird.
The rumor mill was that he had a drinking problem.
Was that what it was? He was in rehab. Okay.
Yeah,
he's
the rumor
28.
Mill.
Stetson Bennett is 28.
I wasn't joking when I said he's like 30.
My goodness, he is old.
Maybe somebody comes in and gives him a spark, and it's not as big of a deal as we're making it out to be. But yes, to have concern on one side is fine. I think to have optimism on the other side is also fine too, given the pathology. He's not an injury-prone quarterback, and he's literally willing to do anything to stay playing.
Yeah, he will, and that's probably the best thing he's got going for him, because he doesn't have his back's hurt. He's probably got another trailer.
I can't see him getting through 2 years though, man.
I don't see him getting. I truly do not see him getting through 17 games.
And I will be on the record saying right now in 2026, I'm going to hate to have the conversations in 2030, 2032, and things like that when we're talking about Stafford's like hunched over, barely can move, and things like, because the post-career stuff catches up to you as well.
But it's worth it when he gets into the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely going to get in the Hall of Fame. So he's got it. Yeah. I think he's got that lock.
All right, we're going to get a quick break and step aside. Akron football is doing something pretty fun. We'll talk about that coming up next right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Fitz the Bill, Richmond's morning sports talk. Back in a moment.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
Bradley here with Pro Weld Fabricators, the professional problem solvers. On a construction site, problems happen. Broken steel, custom brackets, last-minute fabrication. That's when you need to call the professional problem solvers. At Pro Weld Fabricators, we specialize in commercial welding, structural steel, and custom fabrication for contractors and building projects. When metal problems threaten to slow your project down, our experienced team delivers strong welds, fast solutions, and reliable results.
This is Brandon with Pro Weld Fabricators. Visit our website at pro-weldfabricators.com.
You're great at protecting your data, but lots of places could still expose you to identity theft.
I thought it was safe.
If that happens, LifeLock gives you a U.S.-based restoration agent who will stick by your side from start to finish. Phone calls, filing documentation, preparing insurance claims, your agent handles it all. In fact, we're so confident restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Isn't it nice to have someone like that on your side? Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc?
We need to talk about the lights.
Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes.
A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes.
You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
You're tuned into Fitz the Bill, Richmond's only local morning sports talk show on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Powered by Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company.
Alan, I found a contest that I think fits you perfectly.
Oh God, what is this?
It's the Akron football season ticket holder.
Oh yeah.
You see this yesterday?
Matt
probably
talked about it. Yeah.
So-
You're right. You're exactly right.
Akron, the Zips, launched a first-of-its-kind fan promotion, giving one season ticket holder the chance to help their head coach script the plays for the opening drive, not of the spring game, no, of a real NCAA sanctioned game, their season opener against Robert Morris.
So I'll be completely honest with you. I think I could do the opening drive. I could not do a full game. I'm not.
You're not built like that?
No. I would definitely leave that up to the professionals, but would be welcome to, get trained on how to do it and then go from there. And then obviously when I'm sitting at home, sometimes I like to think I can call plays. Like, we all do that. We all do it. But like a script, oh yeah, man. Like I said, I'm a Niners fan. The script is what we do, baby.
What would your first play be?
Oh, it's Maction, man. I'm going empty set.
It's Maction against FCS opponent.
I'm definitely going empty set. We just all verts, man. Everybody go.
You remember that one fake punt play that the Patriots ran? No, the Colts ran against the Patriots when it was just the center.
Yeah.
And McAfee is the punter. That or the Cowboys weird play on like 4th and 7 when it was just the center and Ezekiel Elliott taking the direct snap. I'm running that. Let's do it, guys.
I was cracking up because I was like, it would be a Maction team, and I would make them so proud.
I also think I think this is an awesome promotion. This is amazing. Their goal, the KPI they're measuring, to get into like nerdy marketing terms, right? They want to increase their season ticket buys. But what I think would have made them more money is just doing like donate to our NIL fund. And for every $10 donated, $20 donated, you get one entry into this. Because I have seen YouTubers, like high profile college football YouTubers, buy season tickets just so that they can enter. And like they probably would have donated like $1,000, $5,000.
That's hilarious.
To get raffle tickets into this. And look, Akron low key kind of nice entering this season, right?
Yeah, no, they should be a contending action team, but the staple of Mac or Maction is always going to be like Toledo and those guys. So
yeah, I mean, Akron did only have 5 wins last year, but it was their best mark in quite some time. They're on the up and up, and they've got a 1,000-yard rusher. They've got a pretty good duo at wide receiver. I mean, you can have some fun with this script.
So what I said to Matt is that I think it's best because I think in the language when they were describing it, they said that they're not just going to let the person just willy-nilly pick plays. Like there'll be somebody there to guide them.
And I think like the coach, you work with the coach to put it together.
I think they should be like, all right, here are our run plays. Here are our pass plays. This is down and distance. Let's script it this way.
Yeah.
Like you've got selections. It's not going to be, you just be like, oh, I like that play.
It's not like it's going to be like Madden when you've got like the 3 choices in front of you. I saw someone tweet though. They were like, they tweeted, they said, on 4th and 36, I'm mad that my double flea flicker deep pass didn't work. And was it Joe Brady? Who was the OC in Buffalo? Ken Dorsey, who had that absolutely flip out on the GoPro camera they had. There was that video, and they're like, me when my 4th and 36 double flea flicker deep ball doesn't work.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If we're FBS playing the FCS and we're 4th and 36, yeah. Like, we got another conversation we need to have.
That's a me problem.
Yeah,
that's a my script problem.
We got another conversation we got to have if we're 4th and 36.
Yeah.
Which, if anything, I would pay to be the halftime speaker. I love to go in and yell and kick a cooler and
boys,
walk
this
out.
is our time.
Oh my gosh,
those Robert Morris. What are they? The Colonials?
I think they're the Colonials.
There's something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Those Colonials across the way. They think they got you.
Oh man, go ahead and be.
You know, it's
give me liberty or give me death.
All right. The British are coming. Hey, Patrick Henry, give me liberty. There you go. Look at that RVA connection.
Hilarious.
Let me just get something off my chest here, and it's something my friends of mine always make fun of me because JMU played Gardner Webb in Bob Chesney's first year.
I remember that. I remember watching that.
And all the players and like the media availability and even the coaches were like, we're treating this game like our Super Bowl. It's a big game. We're not overlooking anyone. This is a big game. And then they trailed at half.
I remember that.
JMU did not score a touchdown in the first half, and they only scored 1 touchdown all game. Imagine I would have scripted a better first half than that. And this could give me that hope. This could give me the hope.
I would like to think I would have scripted a better first half than that. I would also like to think that they would give me the opportunity to go down and say something after the first drive because I would have words. God,
that game made me so upset.
I remember watching that because it was during when I was producing for Talking Duke, so I went back to watch it. And I was watching the replay. And I would have had so many choice words for the lack of execution that I saw.
Lack of There is no passion. There is no hunger.
I know you didn't practice. Ain't no way you practice, and this is what you came
And this is your
with.
Super Bowl? Oh, this is your Super Bowl. Oh, Super Bowl, really? God, that made me so mad.
Oh,
I remember that.
CQL Super Bowl. That's what we're talking about.
CQL would have run him out of the stadium.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I had my arms crossed on my couch watching that game, and I was like, is this really what's happening? I went to a party thinking, oh, we'll have this game short up by halftime.
But I will say, as a gambler, man, we're talking college kids. You get stuff like that all the time.
I know. I just don't like it when it happens to my team.
NFL, not so much.
Yeah, but
usually
college.
when an NFL team tells you that they're treating it like their Super Bowl, they come out guns blazing. When college, man,
18, 19, 20-year-old kids.
Yeah, man.
You don't know. They play how well they ate last night. And if they didn't get a good night's sleep, it's over.
It's one of the most mind-boggling and frustrating things, but
truly,
that's why when we talk about look-ahead games and things like that, we don't typically do that in the NFL, professional level, but college all the time.
100%.
All the time.
All right, let's get a quick break in. Step aside. Then we've got another thing to wrap up this Wednesday edition of Fitz the Bill. Quick housekeeping note. No show tomorrow. Friday, we'll have Sidetracked. from 9 to 10, but no show from 8 to 9. Follow along Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA so you can get all of the scheduling notes. That's on Instagram, Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA. But no show tomorrow and a abbreviated show on Friday. So that's the rest of the week. Just a quick housekeeping note on that front.
Fitz the Bill, Richmond's morning sports talk show. Don't go far.
Ozempic, Wegovy, GLP-1s. Every day, one thought haunts you. What if I stop? The British Medical Journal says most gain every pound back 4 times faster. Why? The shot quiets your appetite. It can't touch your habits. They live in the subconscious where Ozempic can't go. There is an answer. The Journal of the American Medical Association found adding behavioral therapy to GLP-1s nearly tripled the results. Tripled. Hypnosis is behavior therapy concentrated. And the Goen method is hypnosis with a federal record. A technology for rewiring the subconscious awarded a U.S. patent in 2002, engineered to kill cravings, full on half the food, designed to work with no willpower needed. So the day you and your doctor decide you're done with shots, the new you is already built. Only $59.99 or your money back. Weight loss seminar Monday, August 17th, 5:30 p.m., Hilton Garden Inn, Colonial Heights. Stop smoking 8 p.m. or Tuesday, August 18th, 5:30 p.m., Comfort Suites at Virginia Center Commons. Stop smoking 8 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at alexgoen.com. Goen. That's alexgoen.com.
Attention Thomas Jefferson High School Mighty Vikings alumni. The bicentennial class of 1976 is celebrating our 50th reunion this October 2nd through the 4th, and we want you there. It's been 5 decades of memories, milestones, and Viking pride. Now it's time to reconnect, reminisce, and roar like Vikings once again. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime celebration. Reach out today at tjvikings76@gmail.com or on Facebook at TJHS Class of 1976. Let's make this reunion truly unforgettable. Go Mighty Vikings!
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Richmond wanted local sports talk in the morning, and we Fitz the Bill. Back now on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Oh, another free one. Thanks, dog. You always hook me up.
Another hour of the fun stuff on deck.
Another one of your nonsensical rambling stories.
And another round for everyone on me. I don't want to hear another peep.
Okay, all right, here's another one.
Another thing before we get up on out of here, over in the college ranks, we were talking about it in hour number 1, some of the teams that have already reported to camp. Virginia Tech is one of the teams that reports to camp today, and they've got a couple of positional battles set to unfold here in fall camp leading into their week 1 contest. What is it, against VMI? And the main one, the QB room, Ethan Grunkemeyer, they've not officially named him QB1, but Grunkemeyer, the Penn State transfer, will be the starting quarterback for Virginia Tech. I feel very comfortable in saying that. I've also got to say, I really appreciate Tony Elliott for just naming Bo Prabula the QB1 at ACC kickoff. Like, really do appreciate that, because so many coaches think there's gamesmanship and they get an edge when they don't announce their quarterback. And so they leave it until we all see him running out of the tunnel week 1. But I appreciate Tony Elliott for telling us Bo Prabula is QB1, said that at ACC kickoff. Ethan Grunkemeyer, though, will likely be the QB1 at Virginia Tech. He had a couple of really good starts last season for Penn State after Drew Aller went down. Grunkemeyer stepped in, had a bowl win over Clemson in the Pinstripe Bowl, and Virginia Tech is going to lean heavily on him as the Hokies, who have the second most votes in the coaches poll in the Commonwealth, look to have a fast and successful start. under first-year head coach James Franklin, right? Like Virginia Tech's schedule, people talk about the back end of this schedule all the time because the back end of this schedule following their bye week is downright hard, and there's a possibility that following their bye week, they may not win another game this season. However, prior to their bye week, you look at the Virginia Tech Hokies schedule, and they've got a lot of wins, right? Like they start the year off against VMI. They then host ODU. And I know there's ODU fans. We took care of business last year against them. Yeah, that's probably why they're going to be taking care of business of you this year. Like you don't have Colton Joseph anymore. Virginia Tech is going to be playing with revenge on its mind. Then following a VMI ODU home games, they are at Maryland. And, you know, Mike Loxley, he plays really well out of conference. Those non-con games in September, beginning of October, typically go well for Mike Loxley and the Terrapins. But let's face it, Maryland, not the best team. Like they don't have the highest expectations in the Big Ten. If you're Virginia Tech and you want to kind of stake your claim as a resurgent program, at September 19th game against Maryland, probably going to have to win. Then you're up at Chestnut Hill against Boston College. Then you're home against Pitt. Then you're on the road against Cal. Then you're home against Georgia Tech, Clemson, SMU, Stanford, Miami, and then UVA to finish out the year. You look at the first 3 quarters of that schedule, that's a lot of wins. And if you're going to get a lot of wins early on, you've got to go with the experienced quarterback, and that's Ethan Grunkemeyer. And I think it's that simple. For Virginia Tech, I have flip-flopped on it. I talked about it in the Virginia Tech ACC preview, where I was like, maybe they don't have to win a ton of games. Yeah, maybe they do have to win a ton of games. I think they've got to make it to a bowl and be convincingly bowl eligible. And Alan, I think they've got to win a couple of games this season that they probably shouldn't. Like they need to pull off an upset or two to really invigorate that fan base.
Upset or two, and then win those marquee games, like when you do get the TV time and stuff.
Yeah. When it's Friday night in Lane Stadium, win that game.
Yeah, I mean,
you keep the fans there the whole time.
Once Franklin reestablishes the Hokie brand, whether it looks like Beamer Ball or whether it looks like James Franklin, it doesn't matter. Just reestablish the brand on a regional scale, and then go from there. I think he'll be fine. Because again, he's got enough cachet to pull people in just with his name. I think one of the guys you talked to during ACC Media Day was even like, look, I was in the portal and James Franklin came knocking, and he's like, I talked to my dad about it. I always wanted to play for James Franklin. Like, continue to have that mystique about you as a coach. And I think, again, the talent will come and things will be on the up and up very quickly in Blacksburg.
There's one big question I have outside the quarterback position, and it's their defensive tackle spot. Kamari Copeland, the guy who had 3 ribeye steaks down in Charlotte during dinner, he's a star, right? All ACC preseason selection. He benches 510 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, you eat 3 steaks, you probably do.
Goodness gracious. I was talking with a coach at 804 High School Football Media Day, and he was bragging about his players. I was like, tell me a little bit about the guys that you brought here. He was like, we've got guys power cleaning, I don't want to, like 200, 300 pounds, something like that.
Around 300.
And he was like, and that's a lot for a high school kid. And I was like, Coach.
A ton for a high school kid.
And I was like, Coach, that's a lot for an adult. Like, that's a lot for a human.
My freshman year in college, I had 315. So I could only imagine in high school, I wasn't anywhere near 300.
That's crazy.
I got a picture of it. So, yeah, that's proof.
I do with a bar.
But I power lifted. So,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But Kamari Copeland benching 510 pounds.
It's insane.
That's a lot of weight.
I don't care what you do. Benching 500 is insane.
It's insane. But after him, they don't have a ton of depth. And that's something a lot of these, season previews are identifying. I talked with David Cunningham at Tech Sideline about it out at ACC Kickoff. We were just kind of chopping it up between radio row sessions, and he kind of flagged the lack of depth at the defensive tackle position as a potential issue where, like, no one wants it, but if Copeland goes down with an injury for any length amount of time, they don't have a ton of depth behind him, and he is going to be one of the best defensive tackles in the ACC. And then behind that, there's a pretty big drop off. So I'm going to be very intrigued on how the defensive line and the defensive tackle, how that kind of evolves through fall camp, heading into week 1 of the season against the vaunted VMI Cadets.
I will be down there for that game. I want to see it up close and personal. And
7:30 p.m. kick. You'll enjoy Lane Stadium at night.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've been down there at night. I'm sure nostalgia will kick in for me. But I think, having questions about depth is the standard when you're taking over a program. Even back in the day when it was fashionable for kids to stay for 4 to 5 years at one school.
Yeah.
Like when you inherit a program, you're going to have some issues with depth and things like that. I don't think that'll be a question in the next 2 years or so.
Probably not even next season.
I give Franklin 3 years to turn this thing completely around upside down on its head, and we not even talk about what it looked like in year one.
Yeah. I think it'll look good in year one, though, especially if they're able to rack up the wins behind Ethan Grunkemeyer as quarterback in that first 3 quarters of their schedule, because it's a favorable start. It's not a favorable finish, but it's a favorable start. All right. That'll do it for Fitz the Bill here on this Wednesday morning. No show tomorrow. No show Thursday. We'll have an abbreviated Fitz the Bill on Friday, 9 to 10. You can hear our conversation with Justin Thorpe on Sidetracked. If you miss it live, you can also find it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify Podcasts. Just type in Sidetracked. So that's no show tomorrow, and they'll have an abbreviated Fitz the Bill on Friday. Our sit-down conversation with the former JMU quarterback, Virginia State quarterback, former assistant coach for Verina, Justin Thorpe. That's Friday from 9 until 10. All right, between now and then, we are where Richmond talks sports. We've got the mid-major match show live and local starting at 4 p.m. Between now and then, you got the Golics, you got the Rich Eisen show, and you've got some fantastic sports talk.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round. W291CL.